What's up, gamers, and welcome back for more WotC-20. Today's matchup is Starback Ho-Oh versus Rocket's Ampharos. Ampharos on the right, Ho-Oh on the left. Rocket's Ampharos really referring to the Rocket's Zapdos package splashed in with this Ampharos deck. And right off the bat, we will have an opening of Cleffa versus Clefairy for Ho-Oh. Looks like Ho-Oh has first turn here. And one Mareep on the bench. We'll see an immediate trader from Ho-Oh putting yet another Clefairy into the deck. We'll see what gets grabbed here, maybe a baby. And we'll see that Clefairy is from Expedition, so there's a few Clefairy card options, but later printings of Clefairy had 50 HP versus earlier printings with 40. So this is an Expedition Clefairy, and it looks like a e-reader Staryu is grabbed. That is from Skyridge. So worth noting in the type matchup that Staryu at 50 HP does still have a lightning weakness. And then on the other side, you can see also a choice in Mareep. The first printing of Mareep from Neo Genesis only has 40 HP. A lot of other Mareep options are at 50, but that Mareep in particular has two very good attacks in Static Electricity as well as Thundershock. So we'll see if Static Electricity ends up happening or if Thundershock ends up happening. But those attacks are the reason why a lower HP Mareep was chosen in this deck. DCE for turn goes onto this Clefairy. It looks like Shining Fingers is going to be attempted on this Cleffa, rolling for the Baby Rule first. And that looks like a Tails. So first turn over now for Ampharos. You can see a Strength Charm in hand, a bunch of Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Ampharos Energy as well. Looks like we are going to see that Strength Charm attached to Mareep immediately. And you can see there is a Flaffy and an Ampharos in hand. And no baby on the opposing side, so it looks like there are some considerations happening here. Instead of eking and setting up slowly, it looks like Ampharos is going to press some aggression. And it looks like we will in fact see Static Electricity, so if you're not familiar with that attack, for each Mareep in play, you may search your deck for a Lightning Energy card and attach it to Mareep. Shuffle the deck after, so that is a ramp for one. And turns will pass back over to Ho-Oh, who has found a Starmie. So that is also Skyridge Starmie. Most notably used here for Starback for a Psychic Energy and DCE. You can deal 40 and then attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon, so that's one way to ramp up Ho-Oh with all those basic energy types in this deck. And we're seeing a computer search, going to grab a Cleffa by tossing a Juggler and a DCE. And now bringing that Cleffa active by retreating with another DCE, so two DCEs in bin and then one from hand attached to Cleffa to get a guaranteed Eek. So very good play there just to get the hand refilled back up to 7. Turns pass back to Ampharos. Now there's no need to evolve to Flaffy immediately, but it's probably going to happen here, and we will see it. And there is an attach in the hand if Tail Shock is going to happen here. Now this Flaffy is used, even though, again, only 70 HP, there are other Flaffy from E-Reader with 80 HP, but this Flaffy has two very good attacks. And this is Neo Revelation Flaffy. It has Electric Punch for 20, which with that Strength Charm would be enough to knock out this Cleffa, but it also has Tail Shock, which is rolled for, but it is a Tails for Tail Shock, so we don't see it happen. Tail Shock deals 30, Strength Charm would boost it to 40, but then you get to flip a coin, and if heads, the attack does 10 to each of the opponent's benched Pokemon. So Tail Shock used there just to try to spread some damage between this Clefairy and the Starmie. Doesn't happen. Now we see a Pichu in hand. And a Ho-Oh has joined the bench, so Ho-Oh, the main attacker of this deck, really kind of a cleaner type. Can hit some big damage numbers. It looks like that is a foreign language Pikachu, so just quick rule check there. So this Ho-Oh, we're going to see a Gust in for that Cleffa, pushing Flaffy out. And an Oak, hitting a bunch of stuff, throwing a Cleffa in the bin, a Fire Energy among other things. So figuring to Gust before Oaking. Not sure the Gust accomplishes much with pulling a baby in. Usually you're gusting away a baby. But that Ho-Oh, big 90 HP, unique water weakness, and a fighting resistance. Rainbow Burn is really the big attack there. Trader gets played, throwing another Clefairy into the deck. We'll see what gets grabbed. And it will be Clefable. So we'll talk about Clefable in a second, but first, Rainbow Burn for 4 colorless deals 30, but it'll deal an additional 10 damage for each type of basic energy card attached to Ho-Oh, if any. So it can hit some pretty crazy numbers. It can get up to 90, which would one-shot Ampharos in this case. Worth noting, you can see that Neo Revelation Ampharos in hand. And it looks like Eek is going to be attempted here. Got to roll for the baby rule first, though. Now that Clefable is down, we'll see about Moonlight coming into play. So once per turn before you attack, you can put a card from your hand into your deck. If you do search a card, or search your deck for basic energy card, show it to the opponent, put it into your hand. So Clefable, kind of like a Furret in that sense, except it has to be a basic energy card and you put 1 card back instead of 2. So very, very synergistic with Ho-Oh, that Clefable. Allows you to attach consistently every turn. Worth noting, Ho-Oh probably only has, what, 1 more DCE available to find? I think we've seen 3 DCE. Mareep joins the bench. Ampharos is now active and being played. And now Attract Current being attempted. Hits the heads on Attract Current. It deals 20, but Strength Charm is going to put it to 30, so that'll knock out the Cleffa for the first prize of the match. And now, prize up. There's a Rocket Zapdos in hand. Now we roll 3 dice, and for each heads, a Lightning Energy will be pulled out of the deck and attached to Lightning Pokemon as desired by the pilot. And it looks like it was 1 head, so that will be enough to power Ampharos up to use Gigavolt in future turns. Quick hand check to see if there was any energy there. Meanwhile, Ho-Oh has started their turn while this all resolves. So Ampharos can be a scary card. 90 HP is not huge, but Attract Current, like we just saw, can take out babies with the help of Strength Charm. And then for flipping 3 coins, searching your deck for an energy card for each of those heads and attaching it to your lightning types is pretty good. Gigavolt, also a very scary attack. It's 3 lightning energy and a colorless, but with Gigavolt you will deal, well, you flip a coin, and if it's heads, it deals 40 plus 20. If tails, it does 40, and the defending is paralyzed. So both results are fine. Looks like a Staryu is going to come active. Note it is lightning weak. Grass attached for turn to that Starmie. Yeah, that might have been a double attach. Hold on. Clefable got warped out. That brought Staryu active, and then Grass also attached to Starmie. All right, I think that's a double attach, but that's okay. Back over on Ampharos' side, looks like we're going to see Salesman come down. Also, a Strength Charm has been attached to Ampharos that will allow Attract Current to one-shot this Staryu. Zapdos has also joined the bench and got a medal attached to it, so we'll keep an eye on that. Off of the Salesman, it looks like there's going to be a quick deck check, and 2 gold berries are going to be pulled out here. Now that Zapdos as a plan B can be pretty scary. Plasma, as you know, will grab energy from the discard pile, whereas Ampharos grabs it from the deck. But Electro Burn is really the big attack here. With a metal energy, you can swing for 60 on a basic, and the metal will very much reduce the recoil from Electro Burn down to 10. And it looks like moving pretty quick here, but that was another Attract Current, taking out that Staryu that got promoted with the Warp last turn. And then Attract Current had 1 heads, ramping 1 energy onto that Zapdos. And then looks like Ampharos still needs to prize up. Meanwhile, Ho-Oh, going through their turns, attaches a Grass energy to Starmie. And Now we'll see a fan club from Starback Ho-Oh. We'll see what 2 basics go get grabbed, if any. Sometimes we see fan club for 1. 2 Goldberry in the hand for Ampharos means that Starback is not going to be racking up as much damage as it would like to on this active Ampharos. Still waiting for Ho-Oh to prize up, or still waiting for Ampharos to prize up. Very small bin also for Ampharos, just some tools and a salesman. And it's a fan club for 1. It's perhaps another Cleffa is prized, or there are only 3 Cleffa in this deck, but I know that we saw 1 discarded fairly early and 1 get knocked out. And there's Ampharos finally catching up and prizing up. Prizing 6-4 at the moment. Clefable is now being used, so Moonlight in effect, 1 card goes back in. Grabbing a Lightning Energy. Now Starback dealing 40 to Ampharos. We'll see what gets attached from the bin to probably Ho-Oh, and it will be that Fire Energy right in the bin there. So 2 Ho-Oh on bench, along with a Clefable and a Cleffa. Goldberry comes down for Ampharos. Gigavolt coming in here, so again it's a coin flip. Heads deals 60, tails is 40 in paralysis. Tails, so that Starmie is paralyzed, which means next turn Gigavolt will definitely knock it out. In between turns Goldberry heals that Ampharos back up to full. And now Starmie needs to figure out if there's a warp energy available for it. 1 drawn off the top. That's a big deal. We'll see if that warp is worth saving or not. Attach return, that lightning goes to Ho-Oh. 2 attaches away from being able to attack with Ho-Oh, unless there's a DCE hanging around. Alright, turns pass back, paralysis resolves. Looks like there's an item finder in hand. That's probably going to be kept. Knockout with Gigavolt here. No need to roll. It's dealing a minimum of 40. Prize drawn there is a Lightning Energy. Prizing now 6-3. Quick bin check. Again, salesman and some tools. Ampharos pretty set at the moment. We'll see if that energy gets held on to just in case Mareep is gust up. Psychic for turn attaches to Cleffa. Clefable will retreat out, sending Warp to the discard pile, and Cleffa comes in here. And it will be an Eek. Draw for turn is a Flaffy. Flaffy will evolve that Mareep. 40 HP is a little low, so getting up to 70 when you can is nice. Just harder to one-shot from a Gust. Lightning for turn attaches to Flaffy. Retreat cost of 1 on that Flaffy also. And Gigavolt being attempted. It is a Tails on the baby rule. Worth noting that all Flaffy have a retreat cost of 1. So that does not matter here with regards to which Flaffy we're seeing on board. Rocket Zapdos just chilling in the back. 1 attach of Lightning and 1 attach of Metal at the moment. Now we're seeing a Town V. So we'll see which 5 Pokemon and basic energy combination gets thrown back into the deck here and then shuffled. Prizing still 6-3. 2 Staryu, a Starmie, a Grass, and a Psychic Energy shuffled in. Fairly big hand here. You can see Oak, Comp, and Scoop Up. Discarding a Psychic and a Scoop Up. I believe that Town V pile on top still needs to be shuffled in, but they're just shortcutting it. That was a comp search for a Staryu, so trying to get the Starmie engine going to attach these Ho-Ohs quicker. Quick bin check, there is still a DCE in there. Or considering just grabbing the DCE with his computer search. Now, if that DCE was grabbed here, Rainbow Burn would be for 50. Oaking away Fire Energy and Water Energy. Staryu gets a Psychic attached. We'll see if that Starmie gets found. There's the DCE, but attach for turn was already completed. There's also a Goldberry. Turns pass back. So pulling all the basic energy out of the bin just for Starback purposes. Decided not to eke away the hand that was just oaked for. Ampharos planning some turns out here, but really, unless gusting wants to occur, or unless they want to consider gust, I should say, can always just swing at this Cleffa. 3 prizes left still. Computer search throwing away a Focus Band and a Mareep. And there's the Gust. If the Gust targets that Staryu, it will be one shot with Gigavolt. And it will be the Staryu gusted. That will be the 4th prize for Ampharos. No need to roll, it would knock out either way. Prize drawn. Keeping fuel in hand for that item finder. Now that a gust has been put into the bin, item finder can now become gust as well. We'll see if that's used to close this game out. Ho-Oh comes in. Staryu joins the bench again. Quick bin check for Amphi. And the final DCE of the deck attaches to Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh now dealing 50. Now, keep an eye on that Clefable, because even though Ho-Oh is dealing 50 right now, further attaches that you can seek out with Clefable will augment that damage over time. Looks like we're seeing an item finder right now. Looks like Igglybuff and Psychic Energy were discarded. And it's item finder for Gust. Pulling in the Flaffy. And that'll be 50 to this Flaffy. So like we were saying before, when it evolved, that would have been a knockout on a Mareep. Discarding Lightning Energy and retreating Flaffy out, bringing Ampharos back in. Not a lot to do with this hand, a little awkward, probably want to keep Goldberry. Not looking to discard just yet. Gigavolt attempted, 60 or 40 in paralysis is going to be 60. So now Ho-Oh 30 damage away from being knocked out, but there is a Goldberry in hand. Psychic Attach for turn, so now Ho-Oh dealing 60, and here comes the Goldberry. Goldberry pops, bringing Ho-Oh down to 20 damage on it, 70 remaining. So cannot be one-shot now by Ampharos. Ampharos itself pretty damaged. But with Goldberry coming down on Ampharos here, it would heal it down to 20. That would only require 60 damage to knock it out. Which Ho-Oh is one unique basic energy attach away from having, and Clefable can go and fetch it, whether it's a grass energy or a water energy. At the moment, Staryu on the bench, a little bit of a liability. Ampharos has to map out 2 prizes here. Finder discarding Metal and Flaffy. Now Metal could have gone on to Ampharos. That would at least prevent it from being knocked out next turn. Instead, Strength Charm is grabbed with Item Finder. So now on a heads, this is a knockout. It is a tails though, so 50 in paralysis, which sets up the KO for next turn. So heads would have been a pure knockout. Now Ho-Oh is, let's see, it was 50 with paralysis, 20, so 70 out of 90 on Ho-Oh. No Warp Energy in hand, can't save this Ho-Oh, it doesn't look like. Still a Goldberry in hand. Fighting for turn, gonna go onto the benched Ho-Oh, start powering up another one. There is a Gust, we'll see if this slows things down. And it will be Gust for Flaffy. That's a big deal because the Flaffy can't retreat and Ho-Oh is no longer paralyzed. Draw for turn, there's an Item Finder. Item Finder does not really help here though. Goldberry attaches to Ampharos. Then it will be a copycat for 1 with the understanding that finding a single lightning energy, or any energy, right off the top here will allow Ampharos to come in and take the knockout. That would probably effectively end the game just based on attaches on board and prizes remaining. Prizing is still 6-2. So what will the card off the top be? It's a Pichu. That does nothing. So the Flaffy will likely stay in the active, get knocked out, Turns pass back, Goldberry pops, healing Ampharos down to just 20 damage on it, 70 remaining. Ho-Oh currently dealing 60. If there is a attach with this Clefable, or an ability to get a new basic energy attached to the active and a gust, that would actually take out the Ampharos, putting Ampharos in a really bad position. No gust in hand, knockout taken. First prize of the match for Ho-Oh. Prizing 5-2 in favor of Ampharos, which can now come back in, take the revenge knockout. And it will be Attract Current, so we'll see how many attaches go here. It will be Attract Current again for just one. Probably put that onto Zapdos, which can always play cleanup if needed. One prize remaining for Ampharos. Starmie joins the bench, evolving that Staryu. There's another Staryu in hand, which is going to get put back in with Clefable with Moonlight to go and grab a basic energy. You can see there's a grass there, and it will be grass. Deck's getting thin, you can see from shuffles. And it will be Eek, passing turns back over to Ampharos. There's an energy. That warp would have come in handy last turn. There's also a computer search. Computer search likely going to be used to grab a final prize. There is not a one-hit KO to gust for at the moment, but Gigavolt could paralyze something or just put it very, very close to being knocked out. Looks like it will be computer search, getting rid of Town V, looking to close this out. Going and grabbing a gust? Could always strand that Ho-Oh, you know, there's no more DCEs. And it will be gust. So it won't be able to seal the deal immediately, but even tagging large damage on one of the bench Pokemon or trapping it with paralysis, even if Ampharos gets knocked out, having Zapdos in the back to come in and finish the game. Looks like Gust will bring in that Ho-Oh. Retreat cost of 2, so it could escape, but it's just a lot of energy deceleration. And a roll for Gigavolt is a Tails, so it's 40 and paralysis. 50 HP remaining on that Ho-Oh. Now there is a Gust in hand and a Goldberry, so game's not over yet. Attach for turn will be Grass Energy to Ho-Oh. Trying to keep it alive long enough to knock out Ampharos. Turns pass back, Goldberry pops. Worth noting, one more basic energy type attached to Ho-Oh will knock out Ampharos because it would deal 70. Zapdos fully powered up now. And Ampharos hitting with Gigavolt, rolls ahead, that'll deal 60, so no paralysis on the Ho-Oh. Can another knockout be grabbed here? Of course, Zapdos would just come in to end the game, but could there be another prize to be gotten? Moonlight, looking for that fourth energy. Deck is thin though, there's no energy left in deck. Warp could allow Ho-Oh to attack. If you bring in Cleffa, then free retreat it, you can come back in and deal 60, which is not enough for the knockout, and it looks like it will be a scoop. seeing if there are any ways out of there, but it looks like Ampharos has us locked down, so that'll be the game. Thank you for watching. If you like Starback Ho-Oh or Ampharos getting a debut, comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll catch you for more WotC-20 next time.